Awesome. All right. So today we're going to be talking about the kidnapping of Sita. This is the pivotal part of Ramayan. This is where everything changes, okay? So stay tuned. But we're going to start with our opening prayers first. Can you all still see my screen? Perfect. Okay. Let's everyone can unmute and let's say our opening prayers together, okay? Ready? Om Agyanatimirandasya Chakshurmilitam
तस्मै
Tasmai
श्री नमः जय श्री कृष्ण
Chaitanya
चैतन्य
Shri Advaita Gadadhara
हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Wonderful. Oh, we have more of you today. Okay, excellent. All right, friends. So we're on chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita now. So you learned your first verse last week, right? The first from chapter 3 that we're going through, right? So let's start with our second one. So we're going to text 9 of chapter 3, okay? Now, like we normally do, I'll say word by word and you'll repeat after me, okay?
Dad. Yeah, okay.
Yagyartat. You can unmute so we can all hear each other, okay?
Okay.
Yagyartat. Your turn.
Yagyarta
Karmano
Karmano
Nyatra
Nyatra
Loko
Loko
Yam
Yam
Karma
Karma
Bandhana.
Bandhana
Good. Tad Artham
Tadatam
Karma
Karma
Konteya
Konteya
Mukta Sangha
Mukta Sangha
Samachara.
Samachara.
Excellent. All right. I'll say one line and then you'll repeat after me, okay?
What is this?
Yagyartat karmano nyatra. Your turn. One more time.
It's not garner.
Yagyartat karmano nyatra. Lokoyam karma bandhana. Your turn. Lokoyam karma bandhana. Your turn.
Lokoyam bandhana
Tad artham karma kaunteya. Your turn.
karma kaunteya
Good. Mukta sangha samachara. Your turn. Wonderful. Okay, again. Yagyartat karmano nyatra. Your turn. One more time. All together. Let me say it one more time and then you'll repeat again, okay? Yagyartat karmano nyatra. Lokoyam karma bandhana. Your turn. Good. Lokoyam karma bandhana. Your turn. Okay, good. Tad artham karma kaunteya. Your turn.
Karma Kaunteya.
Tad artham karma kaunteya. Your turn.
Kaunteya.
Mukta sanga samachara.
Samachara.
Mukta sanga samachara.
Mukta Samachara.
Okay, good. Now I'll say 2 lines and then you'll repeat after me, okay? Yagyartat karmano nyatra lokoyam karmana. Oops, your turn.
Yagnartha Karmano
Karmano
Yatra Lokayam
lokoyam
Karma
karmana.
Bandhana
One more time. Yagyartat karmano
Yatra
nyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Now you all try.
Yagnarthat Karmano Yatra
Lokoyam karma bandhana
Tadartham
tadatam
karma
karma
kaunteya
kaunteya
muktasanga samachara.
muktasanga
Your turn.
Tadartham Karma Kaunteya Mukta Sangha Samachara.
Samachara. All right. Tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sanga samachara. Your turn again. Karma kaunteya mukta sanga samachara. Okay. Now I'll say the whole thing once and then you all do it together as well, okay? Yagyartat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhana tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sanga samachara. Okay, your turn, everyone.
Yagnartha Karmani Lokoyam
Lokayam karma bandhana
Tadartam karma
Karmachara.
sanga samachara. All right. Does anyone want to try by themselves? Ramaya, go ahead.
Yakatra Karmani Lokiyam Karmachara. Mukti Sam
Very good, Ramaya. Good job. Does anyone else want to try? Swara, go ahead.
Yakta karmano nayatra lokoyam karma bandhana tadarabdha karma kauntaya mukta sanga samachara.
Well done. Very good. Who else wants to try? Okay, I see Dhwani. Dhruv, Dhwani, why don't you say it together?
Yagnatha karmano yatra lokoyam karma bandhana tad artham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara.
Very good. Great job. Who else would like to try? I have many of you trying today. Very good. Anyone else? Let's see. Ansh, go ahead, Ansh.
Yagnarthat karmano yatra lokoyam karma bandhana tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara.
Excellent. Very good. Let's see. Anyone else for the Sanskrit? No? Okay. Let's go on to the word for word right here, the synonyms. So let's say it all together, okay? Ready? Yagya arthat. Done only for the sake of Yagya
or
Vishnu. Karmana. Then work.
Then work.
Anyatra.
Otherwise,
Loka. World. Ayam. This.
this.
Karma bandhana.
Bandhana.
Bondage. Work.
World.
Tat. Of him.
But
Artham. Take.
Take a
Karma. Kaunteya. O son of Kunti. Mukta Sangha. Liberated association. Samachara. Move perfectly. Which word here means work? What's the Sanskrit term for work? Did anyone see that?
Karma.
Karma, yeah. Karma, yeah. You'll be hearing that word a lot. This word right here, Kaunteya, that's a name of Arjuna. It means, O son of Kunti. Kaunteya. Can everyone say that? Kaunteya. Yeah, that's a name of Arjuna. Arjuna has several different names. Okay, let's read the translation all together as well. Work done as a sacrifice, Vishnu, be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties, satisfaction,
and in that way you will always remain free from bondage.
Wonderful. Who would like to try that by themselves? Let's see. Let's see someone who hasn't gone yet. Nitya.
Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in the material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction. And in that way, you will always remain free from bondage.
Wonderful. Thank you. Anybody else would like to read the translation? Ansh, go ahead, Ansh.
Yeah. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, the work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way you will always remain free from bondage.
Wonderful. Good job. Dhwani, go ahead.
Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duty for his satisfaction, and in that way you will always remain free from bondage.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Ramaya, go ahead.
Remain free.
Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescriptive duty for his sacrification, and that way you will always remain free from this bondage.
Very good. Thank you. Ashi, go ahead.
Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work can cause bondage
Yeah.
in this material world. Therefore, after son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in a way that you will always remain free from the bondage.
Okay, good. Let's see if anybody else would like to say the translation. You can raise your hand. Nandika, Nandini, do you want to try? No? Okay. Swara?
Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his
Satisfaction.
satisfaction, and in that way you will always remain free from bondage.
All right, very good. Thank you all for reading the translation and saying the verse together. We have some big words here. Satisfaction, does anyone know what that means? Nitya?
Satisfaction is like when you're like
Do you know what the word satisfy means? Satisfy? Have you heard of that word before? No? Satisfaction means happiness, right? Satisfy means to please someone, to make them happy, right? So for his satisfaction, we'll get into that, but satisfaction means basically to make someone happy or satisfied or yeah, we'll go with that. Happy or satisfied, right? Satisfied means happy. Okay, so in this verse here, Krishna, he's talking about karma or action, right? Work. Okay. Let's go by line by line with this verse. I had a note right here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so here in the first 2 lines here, Krishna is telling Arjuna that without doing your actions as a sacrifice or as for Lord Vishnu, that work causes bondage. Any work that we do in this world, it causes a reaction for us, right? It binds us to its reaction. So any work that we do, anything that we do here, we have a reaction that comes with that. But if we do our activities, our work for Lord Vishnu, for Krishna, then we're free from the bondage, we're free from the reactions. Krishna takes care of that. We don't have to experience that. So if we do our activities for Krishna's satisfaction, then we have no bondage to the reactions of that work, okay? This word yagya right here, it's kind of connected to another word here. But the word yagya, that means sacrifice. Does anyone know what the word sacrifice means? Let me see if I have any hands. Yes, Ansh.
Like, it means to give up something.
Okay, yeah, that's one way to look at it. And we also, when we think of sacrifice, some of you might have seen sacrifices before where there's a fire, right? And then you put the priest will put some ghee into it and they'll be chanting mantras. Has anyone seen a sacrifice like that? Yeah, some of you have, right? And like Ansh said, give up something, that's also a sacrifice. A sacrifice is basically any activity that's done for a good cause, right? Anything that you're doing for a good purpose, that's called a sacrifice. So that's yagya. That's the meaning of yagya or sacrifice, is when you're doing anything for a good cause. Yagya is also a name of Lord Krishna. Okay, and that's a nice reminder for us to think of whenever we're doing anything, we should do it for Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna. Okay, and that's how we can remain free from the reactions of any of the work that we have to do in this world. I think in the last week's verse that you learned, right? Krishna was saying that no one cannot do anything, not even for a moment, right? We always have to be doing something. And then we also, in chapter 2, remember how Arjuna didn't want to fight anymore, right? Do you remember that? Right? He got afraid, he became sad, and he didn't want to fight anymore. And then Krishna spent the rest of the second chapter saying that it was basically his duty that he had to fight, right? So we can't ever not do anything. We always have to do some action. But any action in this world, it causes a reaction and it binds us to the reaction. So the solution is not to do anything, right? We can still do things, but we do it for Krishna's pleasure. So we do things so that Krishna will be happy. And when we do those kind of activities, then we don't have to be tied up to the results anymore. And that's how we can become free from the bondage of work in this world. Okay, so that's what Krishna is telling Arjuna here. He's saying, okay, the solution is not to not fight, but instead you can fight for me. You can think of me and you can do your duty of fighting. And that way you're not going to be tied down to any of the reactions of fighting this war. Okay, so that's basically what Krishna is telling Arjuna here. And we can also take that in our lives. We can start to think of what we do in our day-to-day lives, and we can think of how can we do that for Krishna's pleasure? What's something we can do to make Krishna happy, right? And that's how we can slowly also become free from any karma or any bondage from the work that we have to do, our duties, right? I saw Dwani, you had your hand raised. Do you want to say something? Dwani? No? That's fine. I thought you had your hand raised. Ramaya, you have your hand raised? I can't hear you. You have to unmute yourself.
What
There
does
we go. Bondage means to be tied up. Yeah. Okay. All right, so that was for our verse today. Now let's go to our Ramayan story. Give me 1 second here. Nitya, did you have your hand raised?
Can I go to the bathroom?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. So before we move on in our Ramayan story, let's remind each other about what we heard in the last story, the last part of the story. What did you hear? You can tell me whatever you remember. Does anyone remember what you heard in the Ramayan last time? Nandika?
Lakshman and Sita, like, so they were living in a hut at that time, and then basically, there were these demons, and so they were like, so they were pretty much living in that. So Sita would basically cook the food, like she'd like get the berries and stuff, and then Lakshman would hunt, not hunt, but
Okay,
yeah.
so you heard more about how they were living in the forest, right?
Yeah.
And Ansh, I saw your hand raised. Did you want to add to that? Shurpanakha came. Oh, okay. Anything else?
And Shurpanakha's nose got cut off, and her
Yes. Yep. And what else
and
happened?
and then she went, then
Okay,
she
okay, I have Swara with her hand raised, so let's see what Swara has to say.
Well, basically she left and told his brother that he has to kidnap Sita.
Okay, we'll get to that today, actually. But there was something else that happened last time.
Oh, last time?
Yeah.
Something
Ramaya,
else?
Hold on. Ramaya, let's see what you have to say.
Okay.
Then I forgot.
Okay, let Ramaya say something.
I think I forgot.
Okay, that's fine.
Wasn't it that
Okay, Nandini? You're muted, Nandini. Nandini, you're muted. We can't hear you.
so there were
One,
demons and they defeated
two, three,
There were demons that came. Okay. Ansh, your hand is raised. Do you have anything else to add?
Karan Dushan came.
Karan Dushan came. That's right. So Karan Dushan were whose brothers?
four.
Who were they the brothers of? Or who was their brother?
I think Ravana, I think.
I hear someone say Ravana. That's correct. Yeah. They were brothers of Ravana. Does anyone remember why they were there?
No.
No,
No?
I don't.
Okay. But you do remember that Ram and Lakshman defeated their whole army, right? And they
Yes,
killed them
yes,
too,
yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to hear about what happens next.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ravana finds out. He found out that his brothers were killed and their whole army of, does anyone remember how many soldiers were there? It was Kara and Dushan, and there were a whole bunch of soldiers. Ansh?
14,000.
Yep, 14,000, exactly. 14,000 soldiers. And Kara and Dushan. And they weren't, his brothers, Kara and Dushan, they weren't some wimpy soldier. They were really, really strong Rakshasa soldiers or warriors, right? But they were completely destroyed by Lord Ram and Lakshman. Just the two of them. They didn't even have an army, but they were all wiped out. So here, this is Ravana, and he is shocked to find out, and he's angry. And one of his ministers, with great difficulty, he told him that his whole, all the brothers, the whole armies completely destroyed. And he said, and then Ravana was furious and he asked, who did this? And so his minister said it was this human named Ram, and he's the son of Dasarath. So Ravana was completely shocked. And this minister told him, he said, if I may propose something, I have an idea by a way that you can defeat Ram. What you need to do is go and kidnap his wife. He has a very beautiful wife. And if you go and kidnap her, then you will be able to defeat Lord Ram. So Ravana thought that was a good idea. And so he decided to go to his friend Maricha. Maricha was another very powerful demon. We heard about him. Does anyone remember where we heard about Maricha? Swara? Do you remember?
I don't really know. It's from I think he was this in disguise of a deer.
That comes up. That comes up soon, yeah. But we heard about Maricha.
I have, but I don't know a lot about him.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, so Ravana goes to Maricha, which is a very powerful demon as well. And we heard about Maricha some classes ago. Maricha was one of two brothers, Maricha and Subahu. They had they were Rakshasas, and they also had a mother who was a demon too, and they were terrorizing the sages in the forest. Remember when Ram and Lakshman went with sage Vishwamitra, and he asked King Dasarath if Ram and Lakshman could come with him to help get rid of the demons that were disturbing them in their sacrifices? Do you remember that? Yes? So one of those demons that Ram and Lakshman fought was Maricha. So Ram and Lakshman, they killed Subahu, which was his brother, but Maricha, Lord Ram actually shot an arrow at him that was so powerful that it flew him about 800 miles away into the ocean. So this is the same Maricha. He ended up becoming so afraid of Ram and Lakshman that he ended up just renouncing everything and becoming almost like a sage. But he lived in Lanka. So I might be wrong, but I think Maricha was actually Ravana's uncle. So
Yeah.
Ravana goes to
think so.
Maricha and he tells him what he's thinking. He said, there's this person named Ram, and he's wiped out the whole army of my brothers, Kara and Dushan. He's killed them too. My plan is to go and kidnap his wife so that I can defeat him as well. As soon as Maricha heard this, he began to shiver, and he thought, Ram? No. No, 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 no. Ravana, you don't understand. Ram is way too powerful. He will defeat you. If you go and kidnap his wife, your whole kingdom will be destroyed. Do not do this. You are bringing death to yourself by doing this. And he also explained to Ravana, he said, when I was in the forest with my mother and my brother, Ram and Lakshman, they defeated us and they sent me back 8,000 miles into the ocean. I am very terrified of him and I cannot face him. And he explained to Ravana how powerful Lord Ram is. He said, if you decide to do this, your whole kingdom and you'll be completely destroyed. So then Ravana, he thought about what Maricha said, and he said, okay, maybe it's not a good idea. And he went back to his kingdom. Well, he went back to his palace. But while he was there, who's this? Does anyone remember who this is? Nandini?
Rupnaka.
Shurpanakha, Ravana's
know this-
sister. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Sister.
in the meantime, Shurpanakha decided to come and visit Ravana. And when she noticed that Ravana was not really considering to go and kidnap Sita anymore, she became upset. And she said, look what they did to me. They've disheveled my face. You know, they've killed your brothers and that whole army. Ravana, you have to go and do something. Basically, she was getting upset at him that he was still thinking about whether to go and kidnap Sita or not. And she began to chastise him. So Ravana became upset and he said, no, I'm going to go and I'm going to kidnap Sita. So he went again to Maricha and he said, I've decided I'm going to go and kidnap Sita. And I want you to come and be a golden deer so that you can distract Sita and then my plan can work. So Maricha said, Ravana, you're not choosing a good
Choice.
plan. You're going to cause destruction for yourself because you're doing this. Your whole kingdom will be destroyed and you will die. But still, I would rather die at the hands of Ram than die in your hands because I know if I don't come with you, you will kill me. So he said, I'll come with you and I'll be the deer. So Maricha decided that he'll come and he'll follow Ravana's plan.
It's
So-
the part where Sita's getting kidnapped.
So Ravana and Maricha, they go to where Ram, Sita, and Lakshman were staying. Does anyone remember where they were staying? What was the name of that forest?
Chitrakoot.
They were at Chitrakoot, right? There's also, I might be wrong about this. I think they moved from Chitrakoot to Dandakaranya. I think so.
Is that place?
Yes, it's a place. So Ram, Sita, and Lakshman were there, and Ravana and Maricha, they made their way to that forest. Once they got there, the plan was in action. Maricha took the form of a deer, and this deer, it wasn't only golden. I'm going to read to you a quick description of this deer. It was a very interesting deer. His complexion was golden, and there were several other things about the deer that were very interesting. Let me read that to you. Okay, so right here, Maricha transformed himself, right, as soon as they came, into this beautiful deer. Okay, and do you know how deers have spots? So those
Yeah.
spots were shimmering like gold, like silver on his body. His horns, the tips of his horns, looked like sapphires, like precious gems, and they were shining. His mouth was so pinkish, it looked like a lotus flower, right? His tail was like a rainbow, and his ears were bright blue. Have you ever seen a deer like that?
No.
No. And yeah, when you looked at him, he just looked like he was made of all kinds of jewels. Very dazzling and bright and colorful.
So
Imagine a deer with a rainbow tail. That is
that was
interesting,
And
isn't it?
beautiful.
with blue ears, which is
And
very
with blue ears, yeah. And with the horns like sapphires. You know what a color sapphire is?
Blue.
Yeah,
Wait,
they're
but don't
green or blue, yeah.
But green.
say that
Oh, never mind. It's but sapphires are green. They're not
No,
green.
you're right. Sapphires are blue. That's right.
Yeah.
baby deers have spots, and then as they grow up, they start to lose their
They
spots.
start to lose them, exactly.
Yeah.
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 It's because
So, okay, let's go back to the story. So,
into the
So
ground.
beautiful.
so
Was it
Maricha
me?
was in this form of a deer, and he began to frolic around. You know how deers, they jump
Beautiful.
around, they smell
Oh.
some leaves, and they prance around.
And
They
they
look
eat
here,
them.
they look there.
And they eat them,
Sometimes they eat leaves. Yeah, that's typically what they eat.
or
So
they
he's
graze. They usually graze on grass too.
grass and leaves, yeah. So Maricha and this, remember, he doesn't look like how he did in the other picture now. He's a deer, like how I just told you. And he's jumping around, he's coming closer and closer to Ram and Lakshman and Sita's hut, right? And Sita notices the deer. And oh, she thought he was beautiful. She turned to Ram and she said, Ram, look at that deer. Look how beautiful he is. I want him as a pet. And we can keep him, we can take care of him. And then once we are done with our exile, we can take him back to Ayodhya. And he can stay in our little garden. I really want this deer. Can you get him for me? And Lakshman was nearby. And Lakshman was thinking, this is some kind of a trick. This can't be a real deer. This has to be a demon or someone in disguise. So, but still Lord Ram decided he'll go and get the deer for Sita. So Lord Ram told Lakshman, he said, protect Sita, make sure nothing happens to her. I'll be back. And Ram starts to chase the deer to try and bring him, capture him alive, right? So Sita could have him as a pet. But the deer was being very tricky. He would run and then he would disappear and then he would reappear and then disappear. And Ram got tired eventually. And he took rest under a tree for a little bit. And then again, the deer appeared and he started to chase after the deer. And finally he thought, okay, this is too much. I'm going to shoot an arrow. And he shot an arrow at the deer. And then immediately the deer lost the deer form and he became Maricha. And Maricha, this was another part of the plan. Ravana said that as soon as Ram shoots you, Maricha, you have to start crying out for Lakshman, Sita, help me, so that Lakshman and Sita, they become confused and they think Ram is in trouble. So that's exactly what Maricha did. As soon as that arrow pierced his heart, he said, Lakshman, Sita, help me, in Ram's voice. And at that point, Ram thought, oh no, this was a demon. And then he began to worry that Lakshman and Sita were thinking that he's in trouble. And sure enough, oh yeah, so here Ram shoots that deer, and then that deer turns into Maricha. And as soon as Maricha said that, he passed away. And now, back in the hut, Lakshman and Sita, they heard Ram's voice, but it wasn't Ram's voice. Remember, it was Maricha's voice, but it was sounding like Ram's voice. So Sita was completely, for sure she thought that it was Ram in trouble. But Lakshman, he knew there was something going on because Ram is too powerful to get into some trouble like this. But Sita was devastated and she said, Lakshman, you need to go and help Ram. He's in danger. Go quickly. But Lakshman, he said, I have to stay here. Ram told me to protect you. Don't worry, everything is going to be fine. Nothing can do any harm to Lord Ram. But Sita was already very troubled and she thought, no, something must have happened. And she said, Lakshman, you have to go. And she began to say some harsh things to Lakshman. She said, you just want him to die. You don't care about him. You don't want to go and save him. And Lakshman couldn't bear hearing that. As soon as he heard that, he said, okay, I will go and I'll see what's happening. I'm sure nothing's wrong, but since you're really telling me to go, I'll go. But because I'm going, I'm pretty sure something is going to happen to you. But still Sita said, just go see what's happening. So Lakshman, he finally went, and at that moment, Sita was left alone in the cottage.
Didn't Lakshman draw the line across that he told Sita not to cross?
So that actually doesn't happen in Valmiki's Ramayan. Remember, we're studying Valmiki's Ramayan, Sage Valmiki. Remember, we learned about Sage Valmiki in the beginning. So he wrote the original version of Ramayan, and in that version, there's no mention of Lakshman drawing that line. But there's in later versions of Ramayan that is mentioned. So for this story here, we're studying Valmiki's Ramayan, and that didn't happen there actually. So, so Lakshman actually just leaves. He doesn't draw the line there. Yes, Nitya.
I have the Valmiki Ramayana book. I have the whole
You
thing.
do? Wow. Very nice. So Lakshman leaves, right? And then Sita is left all alone in the hut. And that moment, Ravana comes as in the guise of a sage. So he's wearing these saffron robes. You can see he has a begging bowl. He has a walking stick. He disguised himself as a hermit in the forest. And he comes to Sita as if he's begging. And Sita, as soon as she sees him, she thinks that he is just a sage, right? Nothing else. But when Ravana started speaking to her, then she began to realize that, okay, this is not some sage. This sounds like some demon or some king who came here. And sure enough, Ravana eventually takes on his real form. And he says, come with me, Sita. I am a powerful Ravana. If you come with me, all three worlds know me, and you can be my queen. You can be my foremost queen, and you can enjoy with me in my palace. Come with me. And she, of course, she didn't want to go, and she starts to tell him that, no, I'm not coming with you. You're like a jackal. Lord Ram is like a lion. You're like, and she was telling him all these things to basically to say to him that I don't want to go with you. I belong with Lord Ram and I'm waiting for him. But Ravana didn't care. And he ended up eventually taking Sita and into his chariot and started to drive the chariot back to Lanka. Now they were still just right above that forest that Ram, Sita, and Lakshman were living in. And while they were up there, there was an old bird named Jatayu. He was an old but very powerful bird. And while in his youth days, he did many, many heroic things. So when he saw Sita getting abducted by Ravana, he immediately went to help Sita. And he started to fight Ravana. And he actually did so much damage to Ravana's chariot, to his horses, and even to his charioteer, that everyone fell down to the ground. He completely dismantled his chariot. He was an old bird, but he was so powerful. So finally, they're both on the ground and they're fighting. Jatayu and Ravana. But because Jatayu was old, he couldn't fully finish the fight. And so Ravana ended up killing Jatayu, or almost killing Jatayu. He wounded him so severely that he couldn't move anymore. So
but didn't he cut off Jatayu's wing and then he in the sky? And
that's right. He does. He cuts off Jatayu's both wings, but they're fighting on the ground because Jatayu actually really broke apart his chariot. So they all came down to the ground, and they were fighting on the ground. But Ravana ended up cutting Jatayu's wings off and just letting him lay down there to slowly die. And then Ravana took Sita, and finally he made his way to Lanka. And we'll hear more about Jatayu later on. So he's still alive, but he's in a very painful condition. And then when Ravana brings Sita to Lanka, he really tries to, he tells her, Sita, be my queen. You can live in the palace. There's so much wealth. You can have anything you want. And he, by force, he took her around on a tour in the palace, and he showed her all the different things in the palace. But the whole time, she did not care at all. She just wanted to go back to Ram. And finally, Ravana could not convince her to be his queen. And so he said, Sita, you have some time to decide. And if you don't decide to be my queen, I think he gave her, I'll have to double check, but I think it might have been a year or some amount of time. He said, if you don't decide to be my queen by this amount of time, then I will have you killed. So he left her in one part of Lanka with all these different rakshashis. They're the female demonesses, and they were set to guard her there. And that was where she stayed for that period of time to make that decision. And she was, of course, not at all interested in living with Ravana. One second, we're almost done. Almost done. So here you can see this is Sita right here, and she's just, all she can do is think of Ram and think of when will he save you? Second. So she's just, all she can think of, when is Ram going to come and save me? But before we finish, there's a part that I forgot. Oops, let me go back here. After Jatayu tries to save Sita but is unsuccessful, as Ravana is taking Sita back to Lanka, some of her necklaces and bangles and jewelry, they fall off of her, and there were some monkeys on the ground she could see, and she actually took some parts of her cloth and she threw it down at the monkeys so that they could catch it. And she was just hoping that someone will see, someone will get those jewels and that cloth, and they'll show it to Ram so that he will know where she went. Because as soon as Ram would see her jewelry or her cloth, he would recognize whose that was. So yeah, as they were leaving, she dropped some of her jewelry, some pieces of what she was wearing, and those monkeys that were on the ground there, they actually caught it. And we'll see what happens with that. If Ram does get to see that, or what happens next, we'll see in the next class. Okay, but as of now, Sita is in Lanka, and Ram and Lakshman, they're still in the forest. Okay? All right, and that's all for today. Does anyone have anything they want to add or say anything before we finish? No? Okay. Let's say our Hare Krishna Mahamantra all together. You can unmute. Let's say it together, okay? Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare.
Wonderful. All right. Before we go, tell me one thing that you that you liked from the story, something that you didn't know, or just something that stuck out to you? Let's start. I saw, one second. I saw Ramaya's hand first. Let's start with Ramaya.
So when I learned something that when you told us that there were monkeys on the floor, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there were some monkeys that were watching Ravana and Sita fly over to Lanka. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Ramaya.
Question.
Okay, Nandika.
So, so, like, you know how you said that at one point, Ramana said that he'll give like Sita a year.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't at like, we like watched the Ramayan. So the way it said was like at one point Ravana forced Sita like halfway through to like marry him. And then like when those female Rakshasas tried to take them, like two of them tried to take her to Ravana, their hands were basically burned because
Oh, really?
yeah.
And did you see that in the movie?
Yeah, and
Okay.
the Ramayan.
Okay, okay. We'll see. We're not at that point in the story yet, but as in the next class and the following
was
classes,
really
we'll hear
fun.
more about that. And then we'll see if, according to Valmiki, if that happened. Okay?
Yeah, because like so their hands get like all burned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They scream and then they go crying to Robert about that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Valmiki Muni says in the Ramayana and if it's the same as what you saw in the movie.
It won't happen because it's the Srimad Ramayan and not the Valmiki Ramayan.
Okay, okay. All right, let's see what and okay, let's see, Dwani and then Nitya. Keep your hands raised though, we'll get everybody.
I like the shloka and the meaning of it.
Oh, okay. Thank you. What did you like about the meaning?
Yeah, is she answering? No.
Dwani, that's okay, but I'm glad you liked the shloka. Thank you for sharing that. Who else? Nitya.
I didn't know about the part of the monkeys because in my book of Ramayan, it doesn't tell about that.
The monkeys, okay, yeah. That'll be a really, really important part of the story too. You'll see in the next parts of the story. Ansh.
I like the part where where Marisha said that I'd rather die from Ram than you.
I like that part too. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Rahanika and Aradhya. Oh, you're muted, I think. I can't hear you. Oh no, can anyone else hear them? Or is it just me? No?
I couldn't hear them. Yeah, I can't hear them either. Oh, now they're
Try again. Try unmuting again. Oh no, can't hear you. Maybe you can type it in the chat and I'll read it out to everybody.
for me. It's saying chat disabled, so I can't.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Are you able?
It's not letting us. It's not letting us see other people's chats. And
Now, does
Yeah.
it say?
Try now. Try now.
1 minute.
It's working?
Yeah, now it's working.
Okay, perfect. So Rahanika and Aradhya, type your answer and I'll read it out, okay? I'm sorry about the
It
audio.
always does that. Like every class, like 20 minutes after
Okay, Nitya.
we start class, it's like.
Nitya? Do you want to share something? Something new that you learned, something that you liked about the story, about this part in Ramayan?
I liked where the monkeys, that the monkeys caught it.
Okay.
Wait,
Did you say that initially? Did I call you first before?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I thought I saw your hand raised. Okay, Swara.
Wait, I have a question.
One second. Let's hear from Swara first.
Okay.
Sorry, you're muted though. Can you unmute yourself? There we
I
go.
like the monkeys when they catch the jewelry and the cloth.
Okay, a lot of you like that part. It's a popular part.
What is?
The monkeys. Oh, Satya. Let's hear from you, Satya.
Nothing really stuck out to me today, just the usual.
The usual? What's the usual?
Like, I already know the story of Ramayan,
Mm-hmm.
so basically I already know a bunch of the stuff you're talking about.
Okay, so you're very familiar with the story already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and my sister watched it all the way to like about 300 and something episodes.
Okay. Let's hear
But
from
now we don't really watch it that much
Okay.
because we watch other TV shows we like. So yeah.
Okay. Let's finish hearing from everyone else first, okay, Nandini? Ramaya.
I already said something about
Oh, okay.
Radhika, and I think
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Have you written on the chat? Let's see.
Yeah.
I like the part in which you told how the deer looked. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. You know, when I was reading that, I didn't know that there were so many other uh parts of the deer that I never heard of, like the rainbow tail or the
Yeah, I
sapphire.
only thought it was only golden.
Yeah, that's what I'd heard too. So yeah.
golden.
Yeah, I think
Thank you
it's
for
all
bringing that
golden.
up. That's a good point. Satya, have you heard about that with the deer? Did you ever knew that he looked different, not only gold?
I thought he was normal.
Yeah, yeah. So he was actually golden, but he had many different parts of him, like how we heard today. So a different, he looked a lot different than just gold.
Wait, can I ask my question now?
Hold on 1 second. I saw Dwani with her hand raised and then you, okay? Dwani?
I also like the part when Jatayu wanted to say Sita and he broke off his wings.
Yeah, Jatayu was really brave, right? He tried till the end of his life to save Sita. Okay, Nandika.
So the monkeys that found Sita's necklaces and bracelets and all that stuff were they part of Hanuman's army?
Oh, no spoilers. I know you know something, but we're gonna hear more about it next time, okay? And then we'll see if what you know matches that, okay?
Can
But-
we just do 1 more hour of class?
You'll have another hour next week. I'm glad you're having fun though. Swara. And then we'll finish, okay?
Can I do Kahoots?
Cahoots, we'll see, but I'm sure we'll do more cahoots. Not today, but I'm sure we'll have more in the near future, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. All right, anybody else before we finish?
No.
Not today, friends, but maybe next time, maybe the time after. We'll definitely, if you all like cahoots, we'll definitely do more. Yeah?
Hey.
All right. Ansh, did I see your hand raised?
Bye.
No? Okay. All right. We'll have a good rest of your Sunday. Thank you all so much for hearing the story and participating. See you next week. We'll hear more about the monkeys.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Bye. Whatever.
Hare